The stream should be starting. Give me a moment to set it up here. Get the thumbnail up to date. It is up to date. Perfect. Alright, everything seems good. Twitch seems up and running. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Got a handful of replays today. I'm starting a little bit early because today was an observed holiday for me. So let's go ahead and go to Eindhoven country. I always get those two words mixed up, county and country. Which says I'm running a bit bad bit rate, but it looks like I'm doing fine. Come on out. There we go. Everything seems fine now. Fog of War. Pause it. Increase the size. Clear my throat. And let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here of another Company Heroes 2 replay. Spawn on the south side as dual Brit. We have the blue Brit and yellow RF. I'm butchering this intro very, very badly. On the north side as the Wehrmacht player, we have Steiner, and his teammate as the OKW player, we have Lucky HD. Every single player has selected a doctrine. We do have the Lend-Lease Assault Regiment with immediate mortar, who is fighting against the Wehrmacht player who's gone for the MG42, so that mortar is going to be a good counter to the MG42. And for his teammate, we do have the Tactical Support Regiment, who has deployed out a raid section here. For the Wehrmacht player, I see some Assault Grenadiers. We do have the Mechanized Assault Doctrine. This area does have some close-range combat. Generally, I would say don't deploy more than 2 Assault Grenadiers. They don't scale all too well, and compared to other CQB infantry, they are not what you could charge for like shock troops. And spawning as OKW player, we have Overwatch Doctrine, who's gone for 1 Volksgrenadier, 1 Kubelwagen, and probably can go for some Jaeger Light Infantry once he gets the 1 command point. Kubelwagen and intersection duking it out. Looks like some more damage on the intersection, but they have, of course, fell back to the heavy cover. And I noticed as well, audio seems a little bit quiet. Yep, and there we go. That seems a little bit better. The audio should be better on the stream. On the right side, we got the... Looks like some of these models went down to a potential grenade. No, not grenade. That's actually mortar shots. And the Assault Grenadiers, of course, get overwhelmed by numbers. The mortar is a great counter, and the Pioneer is not here to support or draw fire. The Pioneer, it can be quite useful for assisting Assault Grenadiers in the advance. Primarily just those absorb shots. Kubelwagen is severely wounded. Raid sections are advancing. They do get behind the light cover and the light cover here. Kubelwagen's trying to make their way forward. Those draw some fire there. Can't go back and engage anymore. But Pioneers get some mid-range damage, can increase the rate of fire. And I can see as well, they're not taking single shots, so they're actually getting mid-range damage right there. You could have kept it right there, but they're not being focused down. Wanting to actually advance was actually really good. Yeah, the intersection squad will need to fall back. The raid section. Ooh, lots of damage there.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
We do have these Assault Grenadiers behind after the Central VP. We do have the Universal Carrier advancing, trying to engage these forces. And we do have the Kubelwagen still severely wounded. Won't be able to get any repairs anytime soon since the Sturm Pioneers right here. The Cannon Warfare is on the build queue. Getting some good damage in there. Excuse me. Universal Carriers receiving some fire there from the intersection. and this gains some good damage onto the Universal Carrier. Got the regular intersection here, engaging the Volksgrenadier and Assault Grenadiers are coming to support as well. The Assault Grenadiers do force them back, and they do advance. We do have this raid section here in this intersection. They can rip apart the Assault Grenadiers. Assault Grenadiers cannot get out of light cover. Even now, they can rip apart even behind cover. He does have Battle Phase 1, so he can rush forward with the Assault Grenades. He could sprint forward to get those Assault Grenades off. This one's not being focused down. It has all 5 members. They're currently just sort of just standing there, somehow not getting ripped apart. We got the Vigorous Light Machine Gun upgrade. We do not have the grenades being thrown there. This guy will need to fall back. He needs to get out of Medic Bunker as soon as possible. He needs to keep these guys topped off in health in order to get any decent engagements. Volksgrenadiers are engaging. Does throw a Scenic Grenade there, burning up the raid section. The raid section is receiving quite a bit of fire. One of the Volksgrenadiers falls. They both fall back for now. Some shoe mines are being deployed, and now Kubelwagen is fully healed back at home. I think that... No, that's not the Kubelwagen. Yep, capturing up right there. Kinetic Warfare may find a shot there. That should be one shot to kill, finish him off. And the intersections do get interrupted there with healing. Got the Jaeger Infantry Squad to run out, but no deploying HQ to get out the G43. It does find a hit there on the Universal Carrier. Raid section severely wounded, and the Kinetic Warfare decides to fall back nice and early because it got the target it needs to kill off. Now the Kinetic Warfare has to stay back, capture points. That's about it. There's nothing left from the fight for the time being. On the left side, raid section. After this range, Kubelwagen should do some great work. Reinforcing the raid section there. Only gets one burst off. Had trouble firing. May got stuck in reload animation. Or, not animation, but just reload.
Commander abilities ready.
We got the Jaeger Light Infantry here. Currently with the ambush attack, getting some free 50% increased accuracy shots. And the intersection squad will not be able to deal with the Grenadiers, Jaeger Light Infantry at this range, though they're getting some great damage in. How?
Aufgepasst. The command vehicle has converted to a static building.
At that range, they had regular Grenadier rifles. They don't have a scope rifle that has reduced accuracy close range. They had regular Grenadier rifles, so they should have been great at that range, but guess not. Assault Grenadiers do fall back. 2-2 engaging from the flank. We got the Royal Engineers coming forward with a heat grenade. He may not see it in time. Plus, you hardly ever see the heat grenade from the Royal Engineers, so you may not even recognize it has that ability. Just going to try to run down. Assault Grenadiers going to intercept. There is also a Minesweeper here, so it has reduced damage. Also got an AT gun deployed back out here, as well as a medic. Assault Grenadiers receiving some fire there from the raid section, receiving fire from this over here. Is that just damage or... Nope, no 5-man squad. Not shoe mines, regular land mines being deployed on out by the Royal Engineers. And MG42 does find some good suppression there on top of the raid section. On the left side. Ooh, what was that? Kubelwagen? Yeah, Kubelwagen went down. Must have found a landmine right there. MG42 will need to fall back, especially with the mortar in the region. But right now, at the current rate, he likely will get wiped by these forces. He will get wiped out. He's going to try to push forward, try to capture it up. He has deployed out some regular Grenadiers being upgraded the LMGs. Assault Grenadiers could throw some grenades there, but nope, does manage to get enough damage on there before him capturing it up. And if the 2 Jaeger Light Infantries now upgrade G43s, it would be great. Best make them move everywhere in order to get some great damage in, and does suppress both those squads since the raid section decides to not retreat and cause AoE suppression to take out that, or force back the intersection there. MG42 trying to avoid the heat grenades from the Royal Engineers this time. He's getting some good damage there on the Vickers. He will receive the heat grenade and will receive a lot of rearm hits there from the Vickers. So that may actually go down to the Vickers, receiving massive amount of fire, and does go down there. But he will get flanked by the Volksgrenadier.
Losses upon us.
He does take out the Vickers. He could potentially claim one of the Vickers with his 5-man squad. He does not claim with a 3-man squad. And he will claim himself with a free Vickers gun, which would be great to set up on the flank in order to protect it without needing to spend your own manpower on a MG34. Grenadiers do get suppressed there by the quad half-track.
Supplies looking a bit squiffy.
We do have the air resupply operations being deployed now, getting out a mortar, AT gun, and some medical supplies. He does not have a medic, and that will give him some good amount of weapons as well that he needs. And now to give them 2 mortars as well. Does pick up the medical supplies. That guy does heal up the Royal Engineer as well. Royal Engineer is going to be eyeing to pick up the mortar gun, mortar 2, there we go. And still a couple more medical supplies left over. He does go ahead and force back the Cannon Warfare, getting 1 model there. We do have a Battle Creep HQ here, as well as Battle Phase 2 being researched by the Wehrmacht Austrian player. MG42 will get suppressive shots there on that raid section. So far to see if that decapture symbol there, and does get fully pinned. He is not behind heavy cover. He is at an angle, flanking angle cover right there. And the MG42 does get forced back. Sorry about that. I was just checking out my stream on another screen. And he is going for the cutoff point there, but we'll only cut off this single point here. The munitions point is not captured, but being captured for the Wehrmacht player. We got a Panzer-equipped Panzer Grenadier here. The Cannon Warfare is also making his advance as well. And here, grenade looks like the raid section has thrown out a Molotov. Extreme Pioneers do get suppressed right there. We do have some Obersaus as well. Looks like Magenta is very blocking with some elite infantry. Gets a good hit there with the Cannon Warfare. 1 more shot and it will go down. Jaeger infantry engaging. It's not scavenge doctrine, so he does not have access to infiltration grenades. We do have the Obersaus now upgraded to MG34. Cannon Warfare trying to set on up. May find an angle. Nope, looks like he managed to get out there and packs up before we find a potential another angle. Mortar does get a good hit there, and the intersections do fall back. On the left side, we got the Royal Engineers and intersections we can advance. We've got a mine detonation over here. Volksgrenadiers are a bit blobby. A lot of infantry squads blown out by Magenta. Now we have Cromwell being blown out by Blue. He does have the sappers or repairs as well.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Making switching way forward to infantry units. The mortar team will be forced back. I got a big wave of raid sections. The Royal Engineers took most of the shots, which is good, but Incendiary Grenade is thrown. He does not dodge. We're seeing lots of extra damage right there. Ooh, lots of extra damage. Does fall back. Volksgrenadiers maybe will secure the sector. Could be a couple more model. Oh wait, these are Magenta infantry. He is focused on that wounded one there. And the raid section does get wiped out there and does retreat back before a potential crush. He looked like he was going for a pretty sizable crush, and I had a gut feeling he was going to get it. Over here, we do have the Assault Grenadiers advancing, receiving quite a good hit there. By a mortar. Cromwell making his advance. And Patrick started making the way forward. Open fire was activated there. Receives a Pactoid shot. Pantrax do fire. Both of them connect. But looks like nothing else to finish it off. Fresh raid section has been pulling him out.
Engine load up.
Squad is making his advance, trying to get some good damage in. And it looks like the intersection Royal Engineers do capture up the right VP. You have 344 VPs for the Allies to 464 for the Axis. But that margin is shrinking. So it is a nice little margin for the Axis players. Over 120 tickets, or less than 120 tickets. Shroom Pioneers do back away from the infantry sections. A bit too much fire coming from them. As we got these mortars now lining on up. Great mortar hit there on the M242, and Panzerstrike, of course, can't do much versus infantry. Ooh, double mortar hit there, and that may have took out, destroyed the gun as well. It did. Intersection are trying to back away from the infantry forces. Raid section are behind some heavy cover there, as these elite infantry are getting great damage there. Obersassen and Jägerli infantry is a good combination. Obersassen can just get a lot of damage in, while the Jägerli infantry can just pick off the individual models. Good damage there coming on to Axis infantry. He's trying to go for Panzerfaust. The Kettenwerfer does roll a miss. Panzerfaust will damage the engine. And 2 shots. It can survive 2 shots, but I think the 3rd shot will actually get it too. Intersection behind some heavy cover here, getting some great damage in. Cost-effective engagement for them, but even then, maybe not so much because there's so much fire coming down onto them. Royal Engineers are backing away, trying to repair out the Cromwell. Panzer IV, OKW Panzer IV has been pulling out. 6-pounder rolls a miss. Cromwell rolls a hit, but so does the Panzer IV. Couple hits there. The Panzer IV will back away. 1 shot away from death. Mortar does get a great hit there in the Jägerli infantry. And got another Kettenwerfer hit there on the Cromwell, but it looks like this will be get away. He tried to force fire, but misses. Royal Engineers could not stop the Kettenwerfer. 1 machine gun's not enough. They've got a Gamma Bomb onto the Pak 40. It's not enough to kill it off, and just drop Panzerstrike by the Panzer Grenadiers. Do we see? Yeah, the squad is still alive. Oh wait, get that Panzerstrike, get that Panzer IV away from the Panzerstrike. If there was no Panzerstrike, that would be a great engagement against that Panzerstrike. That may actually be death, but I still believe he can actually withstand a shot. Turn off prioritized fire. Gets inside the garrison. Austria's Panzer IV could have got some great work there. Trying to go for a crush. The structure goes down and drops the Panzerstrike as well. That structure was a decent idea when it was in full fire, but that if you're going to get crushed like that and you knew it's going to take more than 1 shot, maybe you didn't realize it's going to take more than 1 shot, probably would have been a good idea just to avoid. But you got these Volksgrenadiers advancing, trying to hit the raid sections. Was there another thing? Or are they just doing more trash talking? Didn't see anything else going on. Mortar is still the crew right there. This mortar is at Veterancy 1. Does deploy out some landmines there, which could be useful. A Panzer IV diving onto it could be, well, definitely for the Panzer IV. We do have 2 Panzer IVs now out on the field, which could do good damage, to say the least. Got the intersections now receiving some fire from the captured Vickers. And now here comes a Cromwell, fresh. Well, no, that's the same Cromwell, not fresh Cromwell. Able to get some good damage in, but not really committing. There's a Kettenwerfer pushes way forward. Have to be careful with the Kettenwerfer and the Panzer IVs. Never know what may happen. We do have now a Comet tank out in the field. the Panzer IV will have extreme trouble versus the Comet Tank. Though the Panzer IV maybe will get a rear armor shot there. Don't see any killer mines there. Pantrix are advancing. Panzer IV rolls a missile, unable to get a Faust. Faust does connect, but not enough to get a kill. Panzer IV taking a horrendous path. Pantrix does connect, going for another Panzer Faust there. Comet Tank does get the kill there on the Panzer IV. This Grenadier needs to fall back. Very poor micro from Red. Pantrix does roll a miss there. Grenadier still advancing, but there's still the quad half track suppressing these forces. Light E already barraged has come on forward, but largely will miss. Gets to kill one of his own models. And the friendly fire with the mortar to boot as well. Comet Tank is getting repaired on up. It won't take too long to get it repaired up. And we do have the Assault Grenadiers now getting suppressed by the Vickers and by the Quad Half Track. Quad Half Track at Veterans C3. 9 infantry killed. He's supposed to fall back. You can go ahead and reclaim the VP to the left. And the VP start counting in favor towards the Axis players. We got the raid sections making their advance. Six-pounder does find a hit there on to the Panzer IV, and will likely find another hit. Does get a second hit there, and the Cromwell, not Comet, rolls a bounce there, and now the Panzer IV is blitzing away. AT gun does roll a miss, another miss there, or that may have been the Cromwell. Comet Tank going to be blitzing himself using the emergency war speed. Sees a shot, rolls a miss. The French was smoked by the Oak Substance, but it's way too far forward. Panzer IV receives a bounce there. Cromwell is also advancing. It does spot this mechanized HQ as well as the left 18. Not taking the opportunity to kill off the mechanized HQ. Cannon Warfare trying to set up a shot there. Does not get a shot off there, and there's no shoe mines that cross the entire path. Raid sections over here receiving massive amounts of fire from the elite infantry of the Magenta OKW. And I hear a Churchill. I do love the Churchill. Both of the Panzer IVs are down, which means the Churchill won't be as effective. It's still good against infantry. Great against Panzer IV, great against infantry. Left 18 gets some good hits there. Panzer Faust does connect on the Grenadier. Panzer trying to get some shots on in. These guys are severely bunched up. Suppressed unit coming on board. The mortar can do some great damage, and even the Churchill and Cromwell shots, well, a couple well-placed shots or not well-placed shots will do good damage as well. On the right side, got the Assault Grenadiers capture those points and just split them up. So I have them start capturing everything. Left 18 start running a barrage here still. Cannon Warfare can't push forward, needs escort. That's Vickers up there, not another big Cannon Warfare. Second big Cannon Warfare on the build queue. Maybe a good idea if we'll go for a Jagdpanzer this time, but the Comet and Churchill on the field, Panzer Force is not going to cut it. He either needs to go for a Jagdpanzer or save up for a Panther. He has to deploy on Mechanized HQ. He's maybe eyeing for the King Tiger.
Anti-tank rockets on the field.
Second Cannon Warfare will be nice, but against a Churchill, Churchills have a lot of health, so it's not really that great versus them. I'm still impartial towards the Jagdpanzer at this point in time. Assault Grenadiers getting easily suppressed by the quad half track. We do have enough VPs for the strafing support. The Sheer Transporter is still up and around, so we can use that for anti-aircraft purposes. And we now do have a Panther being deployed out by Red. Raid sections will not be able to last long against those forces. Red's Panther is a good idea. He does not have enough VPs for the Tiger tank. He knows pretty close. May have been worth it to save the Tiger tank, but then again, the Panther out immediately could also probably be much more important as well. Because even though it's just a quarter of a CP, you have to lose, basically, send you guys out to die to get that quickly up. And that's not usually something you really want to do. Grenadiers making their way forward. We got the Panther Strike's advancing as well. Bundle grenade was thrown and mortars were raining on in. Artillery, no, that's the airstrike coming on in. Gains some great damage from that infantry. They're very locked up, so the strafing rounds will get some great AoE damage. Panther finds a hit there. Rocket run onto the Panther. We see quite a bit of hits there. The Panther needs to back out of there. So again, we're sitting up on a pretty good angle right there. And the Kenner Workers will now need to fall back. His infantry still in the region. Sees him on a straight run. He sees a lot of damage on the straight run there. Even the Kenner Workers got straight right there. One bounce there. One hit there. And they are both falling on back. Left 18 eyeing a barrage onto the Cromwell. And now the captured Vickers will be making his withdrawal. There's too much firepower coming up on that Churchill. And too much support it has as well. We got the Panther deployed, still alive. No repair engineers. Anvil intersections are great here. He has not gotten the 6-man upgrade on his Assault Grenadiers either, which could help him with performance in general. When they get 6 men, they're actually a bit more reasonable. 5-man squads, they're okay. They're very, very situational, but they're not general purpose, like the Grenadier. After getting its health topped off. And red is going for the Flak Panzer Ostwind. Once the 18th support and the anti-aircraft support. And they only want an anti-aircraft. Magenta could have deployed out a Flak half-track. But he is going for a Panther, which is good. I'm just glad we saw the Panther and not the King Tiger. At this point in time, as much as you want to, like, oh, go for the King Tiger, there's just too... It would take too much fuel for that. So getting out the Panther or Jagdpanzer are both a good idea.
Panther, ready for action.
Of course, now the Panther is deployed. Cromwell's at Veteran C2, just received Veteran C2. And now the Churchill starts making his advance, trying to get some good damage in. Finds a miss there onto the Volksgrenadier. One bounce, one pen. Once he gets Veteran C1, he gets the extra machine guns. Double bounce there as well. Churchills have a lot of health and a decent amount of armor, so they can be very durable. And sometimes when you have scope of mass Churchills, I love going mass Churchills. There's just so much mass there, it's hard for your opponent to actually deal with that much health. Taking this way forward, there's a swept landmine here for the Brits. Another swept one right there as well.
You now have a new
Very, very careful when you get on top of those landmines. It's a one missed shot there and should be able to damage the into the Panther. Panther having a bit of trouble against these forces. Intersections making an advance. Great damage there on the Panther. Panther will need to fall back. Cromwell kind of pursued. No grenades or houses or mines. Panther does go down there. Red will need to deploy out a second. Will need to deploy out a Pack 40 because this previous Pack 40 was never re-secured. That's to kill down the Ostwind, and that's now another straight coming in, which is a little bit overkill at this point in time. Cromwell receives a good pen there from the Panther.
300 points remaining.
But now there's a lot of fire. 2 common things not on the field. Panther will get outnumbered. Where's those Kenner Workers? Kenner Workers are pushing the way over here. This could be a dead Cromwell, depending how the Kenner Workers set on up. They do set up prematurely. And they will find one hit there. And does get a bounce there as well. Still not a great engagement there. Panther pushes his way forward. Infantry forces start making the way over that direction. Volksgrenadiers making advance, trying to go for Panzerfaust onto the common tank. we've got a pyrotechnic flare being thrown right there, trying to bring in some artillery strikes. Ooh, a really deadly hit there by the Comet. That first round does rain in short. Grenadiers pushing moving forward. We've got the Pantrix as well. AT gun, quad half track, a lot of forces here. Those assault Grenadiers are not going to do much. Pantrix trying to get some damage there onto these Comets. And Pack 40 does find a hit there, and he's not responding in time. As far as ground gets hit on the other one, but out of vision range, so unable to get any more additional shots. We do have these sandbags being deployed on out, artillery barrages onto that trench, and we do have the Karma almost fully repaired. Churchill got scratched by that shot. F-18 not at Veteran 1 yet. Again, we're first throwing some rounds there onto the sandbags. Does not take it out just yet. And we got another artillery flare raining on in. When in vision, those artillery rounds really do have a tight scatter, so you got to make sure you throw on tight exactly where you need them to go. It won't scatter like, oh, got a good hit there. Mortars, however, getting some good hits there. Kenworthers get some good hits there onto the Firefly, but the Firefly should manage to back on out. And the Vickers will protect that BP. Very nice. Mortars finds good hits there onto the Kenworther, and looks like the last round just landed. Oh, Clausen and Jaegers should deal with these raid sections, no problem. Panther finds a hit there onto the Churchill. One good hit there onto the Churchill, multiple hits there on the Churchill. Grenadiers are maybe eyeing for a bundle grenade there. And the Churchill is severely wounded. Kenworther could try camouflaging in order to find a good spot there. Does not manage to firing the shot there. Looks like he's Carmel's finding angle behind the building. Does force fire the ground, goes around to that shed, and now we've got some artillery coming on in. Strafing sport. Oh, it must be something from the forward observation post. So he has a forward observation post right here. So he has brought in a strafing support ability. Got some artillery raining onto this base. Bit of damage here and there, but nothing too critical. Officer being deployed on out. And we do have the Pantrix squad capture the munitions point now.
Sappers back to full strength.
Both these are heavy sappers. They have really good repair rate. Very useful for the Churchill.
There's a shiny new officer and gentleman ready to go.
Air transporter now starting to fire against the aircraft, but looks like the aircraft may be going for a strafing run. Yes. Finds great hits there onto that Volksgrenadier.
Taking effective fire.
Raid sections. You can set a trench right there. Over here, we do have the Pioneers back away. That landmine does not get detonated right there. That shoe mine there could be very important. There's a shoe mine there, right? No, that's just debris. My bad. Comitank's making their way forward. S-Mines do get swept there by the sappers. Check. Oh, Gammon Bomb right there. Takes out both the AT guns. One and fully destroyed. Mortar does go down as well. And here comes a AT sector assault now being held on in. We've got an AT grenade of some sort, or some sort of snare onto the Comintank. Panther does find a kill there on the Comintank as the more rockets are running on top of the Panther, getting it severely wounded. Almost making some advance and may try to siege down that Shira Panzer quarters. Magenta may need to pull out. He's at Pop Cap. We'll say may need to pull out Yag Panzer. Red can deploy out Tiger Tank. He's severely wounded, lost most of his stuff. All he thinks is that Gamma Bomb. And now here comes a light artillery barrage on top of those Royal Engineers. I thought I would have done it on top of these vehicles. Not too much damage, but maybe be able to save the Shira Panzer quarters. Again, we're first finds the shots there. Got a Faust there onto the Carmel. That Carmel severely wounded. Thanks to Veteran does have increased speed, able to crawl away a bit faster on all fours rather than having a limb missing. Now 600 does fall back. Shira Panzer quarter is still alive, barely. Again, Warforce do find some good hits there as these forces do get suppressed by something. I wasn't sure by what. Red's Tiger Tank has deployed on out on the field. Mortar has been reclaimed by the Pioneers. We're not retreating back immediately. Tiger Tank receiving a bit too much fire right there. And now the Comet takes up making their advance. Does use emergency war speed to close the distance. That was a miss there. Overbounds, rolls the pen there with the Comet Tank. Right here trying to go for a Faust. And does get a damage on his own Tiger Tank, takes that Faust. But he does manage to save that Tiger Tank there with the help of his teammate. And then Cannon Workers are now falling on that as well. Left 18 barrage raining on in. Somewhere along this line. Just the base of the British players. Does find the Cromwell right there. Very nice.
The Cromwell tank.
That immediately got up the Vector C2. Now the juice target is actually at 19 kills, so it hit a lot of infantry last time I checked.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Construction does fall back there. S-mines being detonated. And we've got the Royal Engineers trying to fire away at with their Vickers K LMGs. And we got the Cromwell making a way forward. Does roll a miss there, but does force back all these forces. Quite a number of them are quite wounded, and the Assault Grenadiers receive a nice hit there from the Comet. Pack 40 is up in a good location, reproved by the Pioneers. Again, we're Zoo finds connections there, and now we do have the Crocodile bombs here. The Crocodile does have less health, but more armor than regular Churchill, so if you start receiving a lot of pens, gotta keep that in mind. The pels can be very, very disorienting, but it's something you really have to keep in mind. Assault Grenadiers receiving quite a bit of fire there. Tiger Tank fully repaired, rolls and miss there on the quad half track. Left 18 eyeing up barrage. Just throwing some more rounds right there. Destroying the carcass of the Cromwell.
Wireless intercepts put Harry Hun on 200 points.
Assault Grenadiers make it wiped out. The Comet Tank, it's deceptively effective versus infantry. Firefly maybe eyeing tulip rockets. Fireflies is eyeing tulip rockets. Rolls a miss on one of them. Comet rolling up, trying to get into the rear armor of the Tigerpanzer. Pack 40 needs to aim move over here, just get over here, and now give up straight support from the Brits. The both threw rounds into that wall. Comet Tank, or not, Comet Tank is still alive. Tiger Tank almost dead, but still alive. Firefly has hold fire. He's going in from the Tiger Tank. He's forced fire on the ground. Panther does find the kill there on the Tiger Tank. Firefly does go down. Comet Tank will escape on out. More rockets on these forces in the carcass once again. And Artillery Flare has brought him in as well as Gamma Bomb. The Gamma Bomb may stun the Panther, does not. But the Artillery Barrage should manage to finish off that Pack 40. Does finish off the Pack 40. King Tiger has been put on out by Magenta. Red can either go for another Panther or go for a Tiger Tank. Ooh. Last remaining Rocket Run does before gains some great damage there onto that Panther. Comet Tank, he's hunting down that. Nope, just hunting down the Volcano Warfare. Now he's hunting down the Panther. But the King Tiger should dissuade it. Volcano Warfare, no, Panther Strike does find a hit there. King Tiger rolls, he missed. And in fact, the Tiger Tank gets body blocked by his teammate. Body blocking teammate killed him. Having missing the first shot, if it wouldn't have been body blocked by teammate, would have saved him. Tiger Tank rolls a miss there. Red does have a handful of infantry forces. An extra Pack 40 is very important. He is pushing the fuel for a Panther, so maybe a good idea to go for a Panther rather than Tiger Tank. As much as healing the Tiger Tank is one time, and much I probably would do myself, the correct answer may be actually a bunch of Stooks. Because Stooks are cheap, and they have good rate of fire, so they're good against armor. But that may also be a bad idea.
Where do you want this coming? Prepare for action!
Tiger Tank does receive a pen there from the 6-pounder. Does use the rapid maneuver.
The weapon crew are, I'm afraid, quite dead.
Churchill does roll a bounce, receives a pen there, and we got these forces here. Does not recover the 6-pounder. If he was going to try to recover it, I probably would have threw a bundle grenade there with the old Assassin, and the Crocodiles also make his advance. Good shots there on the infantry. Does get a pen and bounce there. Does get some good hits there as well. Both of the Churchills are quite wounded. Intersection especially forward. This is a relatively fresh one. 3 kills, no levels of efficiency. On the right side, we got the raid sections laying down some landmines. Section does fall back, but the mortar now rains shots in on the squad that's already retreated.
The tactical air force is
And
sending support.
why is this mortar pushes me forward? He's not a pop cap and does retreat back immediately, so that was
The
a
capture
misclick.
point is being overrun.
The Allies do have a good ticket lead right now, 256 to 175, and there's a triple capture against the Axis players as well. Pioneers trying to decapture this fuel point. Both sides can always use a
The
bit more
enemy crossed
fuel,
our supply line.
and the Pioneer squad would like to go down. Does go down. KP2 are Pioneers at this stage of the game. You need them for repairs. Assault Grenadiers
We've lost
taking
an
this
anti-tank gun.
squad wipe there. You can perhaps claim the 6-pounder, throw some rounds there on the Churchill. Churchill throws out a grenade, and the Assault Grenadiers do fall back.
Opponents are seizing the sector.
Red has put out another Tiger tank. Spend the rest of his manpower and fuel on that. He has a very good amount of munitions. Magenta's start losing some forces there. Magenta's at top cap and has been a resource float. The Austria player, Red, he's starting to use his light artillery barrage a bit more often. We got a straight for support. We have the gun firing, not just yet.
Promotion received.
We do have Goliath deployed now by Magenta, but it's currently not camouflaged. There's dropped LMG 34. That's where an Oxos squad went down. Section does escape away with it. The Tiger proceeds on a rocket run, and both the Tiger tanks are in a simple map. The Tiger rolls a miss there, but the Tiger tank does get a nice hit. Buccaneers trying to push their way forward, but they're not even fully vetted. They're going for the assault grenades now. You have the munitions for it. Might as well use it. Gain some good damage to them retreating each section, but that's about it. Fresh Oberslassen being burned alive. The Panther does find a bounce there on the Crocodile. Panther is at level 4. Gains good damage there as the 6-pounder shots do connect. Does get a wipe there on the 18 gun. Jaeger Line 3 can easily pick them off at range.
They're down to 100 points.
Cromwell or Comet and Quad trying to engage the Grenadiers trying to advance, and we do have British medics right here and a forward retreat point. More artillery raining on him. Let's get some hits there onto the Panther. Good hits there onto the Cromwell. Or Churchill. That 3 Churchill is down half health. If it does receive a snare, given enough time, it will get repaired up. And now we do have the artillery. Oh, got the artillery recovery ability being called on in. This circle on the map is artillery overwatch. Tanks will receive suppressive smoke or covering smoke, while infantry gets suppressed and wounded artillery action must come forward. It wounds the crew to make them a little less performing. Right there. Main gun loader injured. Panther and Tiger make their advance. Jaeger Infantry receives quite a bit of fire right there. Literally. And so the Oberslassen. Overwatch. Artillery cover. Overwatch barrage is still setting them up. I forget the name now, what it is. Artillery cover. It used to be a standalone ability, still got nerfed, and it was, in its heyday, it was absolutely broken. That 3 Churchill somehow receives a miss there from the King Tiger. And now we've got some artillery raining on top of the Churchill from the left 18. Panther tank trying makes way forward, does take up the 3 Churchill. And the common tank is unvetted here and backs away before any more artillery starts raining on in. Each section is making the way forward. Sees a hit there from the King Tiger. Panther's at efficiency 5, Tiger takes efficiency 1, and now got a strafing support from the artillery forward assembly, the observation post assembly. King Tiger does get a hit there. Capture 6-pounder can be quite useful. Pack 40 can also be useful. Going to spin the way forward, more PS, one more heat grenade there, but that will not snare the engine. More strafing runs are raining on in. The pack gun does get decrewed there. 6-pounder still not set up at a good angle, needs to rotate that gun around. They may have trouble angling over here, so perhaps more for the ground order as well. They got the Firefly getting some good hits there onto the King Tiger.
75 points remaining.
Tactical adjustments need to be made.
Firefly is falling on back. We've
Enemy
got
causing
the
trouble, trying to take one of our points.
infantry units moving forward. We do have the comm tank eyeing for 4 white phosphorus round, but does receive a pen in return. Wolfenstein does find the Vet 3 raid section, but I think the raid section should be able to win that engagement. I throw out a bundle grenade on top of him, and he has not dodged. Seen a couple of good hits
HQ is under
there.
attack.
Fire tank makes advance, gets some good damage in there. White phosphorus severely wounded the Jaeger infantry. They may need to use the medic upgrade and stay in camouflage. Decide to fall back after fully capturing it. VPs are heavily in favor towards the Allies. They have half their VPs remaining, now 1 ticket less. Panther pushes way forward, does take out the cash right there, very nice, and the Panther does roll a miss. And now we do have another Strafe Spark being brought on in. Something I just realized, well, there's cash here, and there's also 2 more caches back in base. So they are heavily focused on munitions. They both want to bring in all their air support they can, artillery cover. They're going for munitions base, bring down, well, let the sky rain down on them build. Attacker pushing way forward. That boss one being rebuilt is a very important deal for all the strafes. And now I've got light artillery barrage now raining on in. And Volkswagen trying to go for Faust does take out the Firefly there. The Kingpacker only takes 3 shots to kill off on those medium vehicles. Quad half-track gains some damage on these forces, not suppressing just yet. Also make an advance, also one is a little bit wounded. Put back away to his teammates mechanized HQ, which I'm assuming it has the engineers upgraded. And the infantry is being forced back by the heavy cats. Also needs to fall back as well. Pocket out does receive a bounce there.
Losing a capture point.
There's also a shoe mine right there as well. That raid section can retreat back and getting a squad wipe. No, he avoids it. 70-pounder being deployed on now. The left 18
The
will
enemy is
spell
trying to overrun our
problems
HQ.
for that. Now Veteran C4 as well. And this Brit has actually lost one of his HQs, the platoon command post, so he will have trouble deploying out all of these assets you can see in the bottom right of the screen. The sniper, the officer, the 6-pounder. He may not be able to deploy out
The enemy has
the
taken a proper thrashing. He's down to only 50
mortar
points.
replacement if that's down either. Not like that may be necessary. Holmes in pink suit still. Does have some S mines. Hansfaust does connect on the unvetted comm tank. There's also smoke there. And now we've got the Panther tank trying to blitz away. King Tiger Veteran C2 gains some more hits there on the raid sections. Left side is still captured up. Lay down some more. Nope, that's not a landmine there. Now the Kenworfer is getting burned alive by the Churchill. And 70-pounder does get a good hit there. 17-pound, the Kenworfer does go down as well. Now they know about the 70-pounder getting a couple pens there. Already have efficiency 1. Left 18 now raining a barrage on top of it, but of course Brace can negate that. Right if they're on the raid section, needs to fully fall back.
The enemy are attacking an emplacement.
Both these guys now fully repaired.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Good hit there onto the common tank. Jaeger infantry do fall back, seeing lots of fire there.
Air support is coming as requested.
section may get the wipe there on the mortar before being suppressed. Yep, they will. Oh, they got suppressed and then they wiped it out. They got it. They got the kill there before getting pinned. Light artillery barrage raining on him. Of course, he does avoid it. Panther and Tiger Tank push the way forward. Vet 5 Panther as well. And there's going to be a nice, nope, no rearm hit there. Purple Pen. The Genesis Panther, however, does receive quite a bit of abuse right there.
We are now down to 25 points.
The Axis players are down to 25 tickets. They need to capture at this point immediately. Grenadiers making their way forward now. Shrieking Storm, however, wipes out that squad. And now we've got the interception advancing. Rock and run. Gets some goodness there on that Gentile Panther. Those of Panther Grenadiers should be able to capture that point in time. This Panther's trying to runs away. Also advancing. And the Panther does get abandoned there. King Tiger is coming forward to say hello. He may lose comp, thinks he's trying to finish off that abandoned tank. And does go down to the Tiger tank. Churchill makes way forward, receiving some fire. The section squad does fall back to raid section. Second pounder rolls and bounces there onto the King Tiger. Churchill has received quite a bit of fire there, does back away in time. In this case, some good pins there now on the King Tiger with the 6-pounder getting up to efficiency too. Versus rate of fire. And weapon control, which I believe is accuracy, could be reload rate. Good hits there on the King Tiger. Shield Pioneers have received quite a bit of fire on the retreat, but should be able to skip on there as the Volks Grenadiers will try to interrupt the capture. Maybe Grenadier throw in Senior Grenade right there. Nope, they just says to fall back. S-mines will be pulled out there. These guys are fully repaired. Get them also back here to shoot down more aircraft as needed. Blue has 800 munitions. Holy crap. That should last for quite a bit of time. And Natural Green, a lot of artillery cover. He can use Overwatch with the artillery cover and strength support. He can probably bring in everything. Jaegerland retreat. Do to capture the point. Do fall back in time. Obersassen do get suppressed. These forces are starting making their advance.
Getting Werfer ready.
Looks like the victors will need to fall back. Still trying to set on up. He may not be paying attention, but at this point in time, he probably may get wiped out before actually getting a burst off. Yeah, it does. Obersassen comes forward. Fresh Obersassen. Finds that shoe mine there. Red needs to push forward with his armor. That is a lot of armor there, not doing anything. He's trying to go for a Panzerfaust, but won't be enough to snare the engine.
We fight bravely for the Reich. The enemy is
And the Grenadiers going to be captured, trying to capture that point there. This point is being interrupted by the Obersassen. The Obersassen is severely wounded. They need to throw another thunder grenades on cooldown. Does lose the Obersassen squad entirely.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
Assault engineers, or not, assault grenadiers may go down, but looks like they did not. Ooh. One last shot. Obersassen squad pushes way forward. There's a dropped Bren gun there. Vickers has been claimed, going for the bundle grenade. He does get the wipe there on the Vickers. We've got multiple raid sections coming forward. He does not have the bundle grenade right now. He does decapture the point in time. The Axis players are down to 2 tickets. Reds pushes way forward with his armor. Central PP will be decaptured, so he can give the left side to them. But the right side is being owned by Palmer tanks. And and the mines will be detonated by the convicts as well. These forces are making it forward, trying to get some good damage in. Patrick's going to connect with the second counter, is coming to Grace. Crocodile's still alive. Also getting a nice flank there on the 6-pounder. Panther's falling back. Maybe it would be a good idea to keep the Panther around. They need to push forward. Capture the Super VP. Alright, VP is being kept up by the Allies. We do have the Crocodile going on down. Oswin does get some great touches there onto the medics, and the left and right VP were captured by allies, and that's the end of the game. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on the next replay. Let's see now. Let's not worry about the 3v3s at the moment. Saw a couple good games before I downloaded them. This is the one I sort of want to cover. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Company Heroes 2 replay. Spawn on the north side as the yellow OKW player, Von Mantiful. I still don't know how to pronounce that name. Spawn as teammate as the blue Wehrmacht player. We have Heartless Jaeger. Spawn on the south side as the magenta UKF. We have Kano the Meme Man. And his teammate as the red Soviets, we have Baby. We do have two immediate doctrinal lock-ins. We do have the Guard Motor Coordination Tactics and the Luftwaffe Ground Forces Doctrine. Looks like we have a tier 1 skip by blue, conscripts just for red. The Brit has gotten his Vickers, and on the OKW player we have Sturm Pioneers and the Kubelwagen. Wait. I saw him inside the garrison and laying down some wire. That's sort of a bug, isn't it? You can lay down wire while inside the garrison.
Scout vehicle ready.
Fire obstacle up. Captain ready.
Vickers trying to push his way forward, capture the VP. The cutoff point has not been claimed. Will be claimed by the intersection now. Fuel point will soon be captured as well. Up north, we do have the Pioneers trying to pull out some sandbags. We're seeing some fire there from the combat engineers as the conscripts fail to build up sandbags in time before the MG42 suppresses them. Does spot the two Pioneers and the MG42. It may give him a clue that he's gone for a tier 1 skip. Pioneers trying to get some good damage there onto the combat engineers. Combat engineers do have good rifles as well, but looks like it's a pretty close fight. Pioneers will need to fall back sooner rather than later after capturing that point, likely. Or they're going for the missions point. Doom Pioneers do force back on the conscript squads, and now we've got the intersection getting inside this garrison. There are 4 windows on the side, but it looks like that bush will prevent them from firing. And we do have the
They're trying to take it.
recovery sapper right there. Does fall back there with the Sturm Pioneer. This one will need to fall back as well, getting overwhelmed. We've got some Volksgrenadiers deployed on out in the field as well. And we do got the conscripts pushing their way forward, trying to gauge this two-man Pioneer squad. Didn't manage to capture up the munitions point in time, but does go and get suppression there from the MG42. One more burst will keep them very nice and suppressed, but they will decapture that munitions point at the current rate. This Pioneer squad is falling back. And the Vickers gain some shots there onto the Volksgrenadiers. This one does have 4 wounds on the side. This guy is firing as well, so all models are firing, but they're getting overwhelmed by sheer numbers. They won't be able to stay around for much longer. In fact, right now they're prone to being wiped. Even now, they can still potentially be wiped. The intersections are going to be pursuing. They do actually manage to fall back in time. But that's a full health squad, not a wounded squad. We do have some medical crates pulling out by the OKW players. You could ask his team to deploy out a medical bunker. He's going to go for Mechanized HQ. And we do have another Dr. Lock-in for all engineers. Infrastructure do find the Kugelwagen. The Kugelwagen do manage to decapture that fuel point there, but we're receiving quite a bit of fire now.
A capture point is being overrun.
The Panzergrenadiers are trying to make their way forward, trying to engage these conscripts, but there's 2 squads of conscripts here. I don't think they fired a single, but they did get some veterancy there from being hit, but not any veterancy for firing. Section are behind some light cover there. Volksgrenadiers engaging the intersection at long range, and we do have the Mechanized HQ deployed out by Yellow, so hopefully he asks his teammate for a med bunker. True Pioneer is getting a great engagement there against these forces, but the Flamer Engineer can do some great work because they're behind heavy cover and they receive extra damage from that, but they stick around for too long. Vickers will cover their retreat, however.
Ready for deployment. Heavy fortification now available.
So we do have these 3 abilities now available. Fallschirmjägers can now be brought on in or dropped in. And 222 has been put out, eyeing to skirt around and engage these forces. These forces, sections do fall back in time. Conscripts are eyeing to second that garrison. The Flamer Pioneer can displace them. Do get out before receiving flame bursts. Pioneers going to get inside the garrison now themselves to fire some bursts from without it, but that bush there is preventing any sort of engagement from both sides. Pioneers getting ripped apart by the Conscript squad. Conscript is receiving some fire from the MG42, but unable to get any suppression down. You have 2nd Panzergrenadier being pulled out by Blue to go along with his 222. Half-track being pulled out, being upgraded to a quad. The quad half-track, of course, is very effective versus the 222. And the Flamer Pioneer gains some great damage there onto those conscripts. Being reinforced from this nearby half-track as before it gets the upgrade. Does get one more model there. And now here comes the AEC pushes way forward. Quad half-track could pursue the 222, but does not. A lot of healing right there, much needed healing. Now Panther 2 looks has been put on the field. The AEC has already been deployed. Has some FCGs coming down the line as well. MG42 trying to get some shots there onto the quad, but we'll need the veterancy armor piercing rounds in order to get any sort of damage there. AEC throwing some rounds there onto the Volksgrenadiers as we have the Vickers does get forced back by the Panzer II. AAC does find a hit there. Volks Grenadier do get suppressed there by the Vickers as well as the quad. Or just the quad, the Vickers already go back entirely. On the left side, we've got the MJ being forced back as the Flamer Engineers and Flamer Pioneers duked it out, but looks like the Pioneers do fall back nice and early. The dude throwing some rounds at long range, trying to get some damage in. Also trying to avoid the 2 fire. Over here, we've got the intersection advancing.
Anti-tank gun and crew now ready for action.
Being repaired on up, trying to use the Panzerschreck upgrades on the Shun Pioneers to engage the AEC. He has low munitions. This one is being upgraded to Panzerschreck. Conscripts do not have Molotov nor AT grenade research. Panzer Grenadiers should be able to collapse on those conscripts. And the quad half track is now fully repaired. Combat engineers do get forced back by the Panzer Grenadiers. Munition point not being captured on up. Maybe a good idea for one of those squads to capture it up. No med bunker for either player, so both of the Axis players need munitions and health. The Wehrmacht player does have 120 munitions, as well as a good amount of manpower for the bunkers themselves. Goes on City Grenade right there. And no doctrine has been selected yet. Has wild some Fallschirmjägers. Pack-40 trying to throw some shots there onto the quad. Fallschirmjägers are inside the garrison. Panzerschrecks will throw some rounds onto that AT gun. The Shun Pioneer being focused down does get fully wiped there. That is quite important because it's his only source of AT. Oh, he does have the Kennwerfer. Shun Pioneers or Volkswagen just got wiped out there. Yellow's losing a lot of squads. Losing 2 squads right there is not very good. The Kugelwagen is still alive for capping pressure, and the munitions point has not been reclaimed. The opponent player needs his munitions. And we do have a command vehicle deployed out by the AAC. Panzer Grenadiers engaging the conscripts at close range. That squad's also not finished. It is going to take time to finish the sandbags, not throw rounds with the Panzer Grenadiers. As this Panzer Grenadier squad will rip apart those conscripts, no problem with that range. Quad half track does get some nice suppression there on the Panzer Grenadiers. And we have this landmine being swept by the combat engineers. As they're receiving, getting some good rounds there into that Vickers. Vickers will skip on out there, but the command tank reduced reload rate will make it a bit harder for it to engage the Panzer II. The Panzer II can be more likely to actually engage it. Landmine does get interrupted there and canceled. This landmine is deployed on out as this conscript squad is falling back as well. We have a squad of Fallschirmjägers being deployed out by Yellow, which helps him replace his forces as we've got these blob of infantry pushes his way forward. guys are just slowly backing away, trying to get near towards the command vehicle for their buff. And I've got these Panzer Grenadiers making their advance. Conscripts do receive their cover receives a hit there from the AT gun. Sandbags do get cleaned on up by the Pack 40 as the Pack Track is sending some damage there onto the Panzer Grenadier. The Panzer Grenadier will need to fall back, prone to being wiped at this moment. Potion Makers make their advance. We do see a Battle Group HQ right there. His teammate has not pulled out any medics for him to utilize.
Valiant assault is now at hand. The troops await your command.
So Valiant Assault's not available. He's half his way to the airborne Stukas. AC may receive a Pounds of Faust there, will receive a Pounds of Faust. And we've got a nose bomb being thrown out right there. Gets a good hit there on the Volks Grenadiers. Pounds 2 is trying to engage the intersection there, and the AC throws a nice round into the Volks Grenadiers. Good hit there onto the Panzer 2 from the 6-pounder. Forces them to fall back as the combat engineers are getting suppressed. Does manage to cover suppression from the heavy cover. Now 120mm mortar is trying to throw some rounds there onto the MG42. It does force him back.
We are losing a sector.
Two squads of Potion Makers making their advance, trying to get some good damage on these forces. And the Potion Maker squads do fall back. I do have a lag brought up by Yellow, so he did actually plan to go to the Battle Group HQ just to get out a support weapon like that. And great G43 hits there onto the combat engineers. He still making the wipe there, depends on the next couple rounds, but nope, does manage to not escape away. On the left side, we got the MG42 not managed to interrupt those conscripts. This one does manage to rebuild the sandbags as well as this 120mm mortar is throwing some rounds there onto the MG42.
Vehicles can be marked and targeted.
AC Smith's advanced intersection is behind, trying to get that heavy cover there. Good damage onto that Kugelwagen, forcing back. Panzer 2 is a bit wounded as well. Cannon Warfers do roll a miss or Pantrek. Combat engineers are trying to stick down the heavy cover there. We do get suppressed right there as the Royal Cavalry engineers do have their own flamer making their advance now. Avoids the arc of the MG42 and does fall back in time as the 120mm mortar says hi. Lag does throw some rounds there into that building as we have medic squad complete.
Where do you need us?
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Heard a landmine detonation there. Potion Maker's final landmine. That was a good landmine. And 120mm mortar is now trying to throw some shots there. Pack 40 finds a hit there on the AEC. No snares. Detonates a landmine that was there. Now got a big blob intersection making the way forward. Lag finds a good hit there onto the Vigor, so it sounds like there's two Lags now running on in. He's great hits there on the Vigors. Panzer 2 trying to avoid some fire. There's also a landmine there by the Brits that could be tripped. The wounded Potion Maker squad does fall back nice and early. The Cannon Warfare is much as one finds a miss there onto the AEC. Over in the center, we got a big group of Soviet infantry pushing way forward. We got the very rare relief infantry ability to be used. You see all the time until they nerfed it. And Panzer II does receive quite a bit of fire right there. We got the T-30-45 making some advance. We got a crosswind here to protect these forces. T-32 does go down. T-43 squad may finish off that conscript. We do not. Goes up on a grenade there on the AT guns, which is just a move forward. Does avoid it. Oh, one Osttruppen squad has won out. Oh, does this relief infantry ability actually makes them automatically upgraded with LMGs? Yes, apparently it does. That's how rare you see this building nowadays. I did not realize they gave us a slight buff in giving the LMG upgrade. Because late game Osttruppen are not really that useful. We got the engine stun or snare ability there from the what's we call it? AEC. When the AEC does push forward with another round there, there's a shoot mine there as well, as the Kubelwagen start doing self-repair abilities inside Veteran C3. Does get the kill there on the Kubelwagen, and the Sturmpioneer will barely escape under there. Lag does get, both of them gets wiped out. Still pushes his way forward, does go around grain the Lag, saving that Sturmpioneer. Another hit there by the Stug. Pack 40 is rolled a hit as well. Another pen there. Also pushing his way forward, gets good damage there. We do have the Zis here and a mark target deployed out onto the Stug. The Stug's trying to go in deep. 6-pounder finds a hit there. Zis gun does not find a hit there. Stug just sort of left right there. Does get a pen there. The AC's come aboard and will body block the Stug. The Stug will likely go down. And does take out the Stug with the 6-pounder.
We have lost a Panzer.
Spartans, get down! Get down!
Fallschirmjägers do fall back, plus he did lose one of his Fallschirmjäger squads in one of those engagements. And does go ahead and flank the MG42.
We now stand at 300 points.
Panzer II, Veteran C3 does receive a hit there as the AC is now at Veteran C3. Good damage there onto the conscripts. 8 squad is trying to throw hits there onto the Osttruppen. Osttruppen may be able to survive this engagement, but with more conscripts pushing way forward, 7-man squads. And it also was now coming in forward to push a lot of shots there. It does destroy his own sandbags there. Over here, we do got the Churchill AVRE pushing his way forward. The Panzer II, since it has camouflage, it can actually spot for the Bekennerwerfer. Trying to go for the Panzerfaust. Will get the Panzerfaust. Will get the D crew there onto the Bekennerwerfer. Volkswagen trying to recapture the Bekennerwerfer now. Panzer does connect there. Bekennerwerfer lining up the shot. Gets another pen as well. Trying to repair up the AVRE, but got British infantry doing a nice little flank there. Bolsheviks, however, behind head cover gains some great damage in. He may lose this intersection, does fall back both of those squads.
Squad knocked out.
And looks like he may have did lose that squad over there. Wasn't really paying attention to that far. Tries to find some hits there on the armored car, the command vehicle. We've got the second assault push his way forward now. And throwing some smoke rounds on top of the AVRE, or could be the smoke repair ability actually. Take out the straight run, gain some great damage onto the repairing recovery engineers. And does take out the armored car there with the strafing run.
Dash it all.
Pack 40, force around the ground, trying to hit the AVRE. We've got also the Panzer engage as well. So another 13 seconds before he can try back away himself. The engine will not be repaired. Even like so much across there. Force fire on the ground, gets a lot of damage there, takes out the AVRE in the current state.
In Churchill, AVRE has been lost in combat.
All shooting back and away from these forces. We do have the Vickers set on up, trying to get suppressing down the Obersatzen, not Obersatzen, Ausschruppen. And Yellow's Panther's now charging on forward. Usually when people go for Guerrilla Ground Forces, they set for King Tiger, but in this case, it's a regular Panther. Portion Years is behind Safeguard there, does have the upgun upgrade. And Millspawn does get thrown, he does go ahead and retreat away from it. And now we'll try finishing off that 6-pounder, probably not a good idea. He's got the wipe there, just back off. It's a little bit, he's unsupported, so that could be very, very harmful. We do have the Oswald getting some great damage there. Got the Zis gun here as well. And unable to find any good angles there. Does get some hits there on the Shtug actually. Here comes the Katusha barrage. He does wipe out the AT gun, but the All-Trooper can recruit for cheaper reinforce rates. Both Grenadiers receiving quite a bit of fire. And 6-pounder setting it up. Does roll a miss there on the Panther as the Panther getting some great flanking shots there. Almost at 55. Light rounds raining on in as well. Panther forward makes making an advance. Let's get the first strike bonus with this guy as well. And the Butch next first will get on the Veteran C5. Light round still raining on in. Does get a pen there on the Panzer II. Panzer II now Veteran C5, so now he has suppressive fire ability. It does cost a small amount of munitions. It does wipe out that machine gun as well. This gun does find a good hit there. Does go and hold fire to make sure he doesn't get spotted.
We are at 200 points.
Takes out the 6-pounder as well. Focusing now on the 6-pounder now as well. Mortar's running in nothing there right now. Panther's rotating around. This gun did actually have the tracking ability. Mark target deployed out. Quad half track does go down to allow the Luftwaffe ground forces player to get out some better air support. Aircraft just gets shot down there. Sounds like a Katusha barrage ring on somewhere. Right there. As he's skirting around. Show just to see some hits there. Shooting for 85, rolls a miss there. Does get the combined arms ability there. Move to nearby Oswald to support his Panzer Grenadiers. Over here, these infantry forces are starting to back away from the Vet 5 Panzer II, which is still alive. Does have the mark target ability deployed on top of the Panther, but should be wearing off relatively soon. Does get an AT grenade off there, but does not get an engine snare because not enough damage. He is now charging on forward, trying to get some shots there onto the Panther or Panzer II. One does pen. No AT grenade there. Firefly trying to pursue the Panzer II, severely wounded. Panther receiving massive amounts of fire there with the Piets and the Firefly. That's a lot of damage coming onto it. Trooper do fall back. There's a captured MG-42 making its advance.
Marking and targeting of enemy forces capturing supply sector.
You know, we have these what's it called? Fortune makers making their advance. Good hit there onto the Volks Grenadiers. Does hit the sandbags there quite significantly. We do have the T-54-85 make us advance. Panzer Grenadiers who are still on top of the point. Got the support of the Osprey, get some great damage there onto the advancing conscripts. Haven't been able to push these Zis guns help prevent that Osprey from engaging. So you have a couple hits there. I've got Katusha barrage running on in somewhere. Up north, looks like. But it's there on the bunker. Firefly receiving quite a bit of fire. And two of them fire. One fires one off, the other one would have missed. Got mark target there on the Panther. Panther just needs to fall back. Shoot Pioneers are coming in support. He's pushing forward the Panther 2 to distract can also be a possibility. Firefly does roll a miss there, and now got a super close air support being pulled out here. Both the Axis players now just realize has an air support ability. The Allies need to pull out some anti-aircraft, because that's two doctrines with that. That's a lot of anti-aircraft potential. Oh, a lot of aircraft potential, especially if they get combined up to a massive fight at exact wrong time. Yeah. Transmitters pushing the way forward. We're seeing a lot of fire there from the Ostwind. That Ostwind did more damage than good. 3 friendly kills, that may have been all of those models right there.
Our opponents are seizing the sector.
Flame Range Sappers do get forced back right there. And the Flame Engineer does get suppressed by the Captured M4-2. T-4-85 engaging the Oststruppen. Ooh, finds a landmine there. Don't worry, they're just Oststruppen. But the VP is not being decaptured just yet and does get saved from being decaptured. Panzerwerfer eyeing for a barrage. This is a very, very tight cluster of support weapons. All of them stay alive, but Flags who go ahead and decrew the 112mm mortar. 2 rockets completely whipped there.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
It does connect there with the Firefly shot. Panther has plenty of health. Firefly does not. 120mm mortar trying to be secured. We do have a Molotov right there, burning him up quite a bit. And it looks like the mortar will escape. Will escape on out of there, as AT gun does get fully destroyed. Grenadiers getting some good damage there. It finds a good hit as well.
Engine ticking over.
Firefly getting repaired on up. We do have, of course, the Centaur severely wounded as well.
The enemy is determined, and we are down to 300 points.
Nostruppen are trying to engage the conscripts. The conscripts are behind heavy cover, so the conscripts should win out. One of the models looks like they're not actually fighting, but it's actually firing. Conscripts, decapture point, building up sandbags right there. And lots of damage coming out, thanks to that through the Flame Pioneer. Ocean Makers making their advance, trying to get some good damage on these forces. We do have these Sherman Fireflies severely wounded. Panther receives 1 hit there by the Tulip. He's throwing all his munitions on those Tulip rockets, not setting up any for the 9.75-inch mortar. How much of that is in millimeters? That's quite a bit in millimeters. Good hits there onto the combat engineers. Still using mark target. Trying to get a blind shot there. Also getting hit as well with mark target onto it. Does get the blind crit there. And rolls and miss there as well. Manages to escape on out there. Still needs to go back a little bit more. And looks like the Panzer II does actually finally goes down. Obsas is deployed on mount to support the Jaegers. Firefly does get a nice pen there, and Panther does return. Panther does connect. Firefly still gets good damage in there. Panther's trying to advance. And does actually take out the Centaur. I was a bit iffy when I thought that would finish it off, but that does.
Anti-aircraft tanks has been lost.
MG Bunker will get overwhelmed and destroyed there thanks to all the AT weapons.
One of our forward structures has been
Another Katusha barrage bringing in. I think Red has gotten out second Katusha. Engineers do interrupt the cap. The Spencer Grenadier squad is advancing as well. Molotov is thrown. It's only seen, looks like only one of the models. And the Spencer Grenadiers managed to close the gap as well. All trooping squads do fall back right there. Obsas is making his way forward, gets good damage there onto these Zis guns. Something's being called on in right there. Looks like it's a 9.75 inch mortar. How big is that? Every inch is 2.54 centimeters, 2.5 short. So 9 times 2.5 is 18 plus another 5. So 22.5 centimeters. So by 2. So around that place, probably around 240 millimeter mortar. Oceaneers. Obsas is getting ripped apart. The Obsas squad needs to fall back. There's just a blob of infantry from both sides. Light getting, however, a decent hit right there as well. Potion Makers will need to fall back relatively soon. That 5 Potion Makers severely wounded. Panther sees a good hit there. And good hits there by the Penwerfers. Panther's pursuit. Mark target on to the Panther. Rolls and miss there with the Panther. The Penwerfer is out of range. Fires a shot there with the Panther. Visual barrage raining on in a little bit late. And these intersections needs to be very careful. A couple well-placed light shots will do some serious damage. Right there. Even the friendly fire Katusha couldn't even pose a threat. But we got the conscripts engaging the Panzer Grenadiers. And the Osttrooper Ostwind is making his way forward. Seems to fire there. Zis guns lining up the shots. And sorry about this. I'm going to turn on follow camera because I really need to use the restroom. Oh, that guy has a different angle. Sorry about that. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Gears deployed. Awaiting orders. Taking fire! Flanking position!
Enemy attacking! Flanking attack!
Sorry about that. I am back.
Enemy down to 200 points.
Oof. I must have ate something not right today.
MG-42.
We do have a, let's see now, there's a Bofors emplacement right here. We do have, looks like, we do have squad Tiger Tank, the squad house Oswin and Stug. And do have the Firefly. This may be a different Firefly. Oh yeah, the other Firefly went down to the Panther, now remember. Transport for Barrage raiding on in, does get a full wipe and full destruction. The captured MG-42, a couple of disc gunshots and mark target on the Tiger Tank. Another good hit there as well.
We have a new Su-85.
Combat engineers captured the central BP. We do have the Transport push his way forward, trying to get some good shots right there. Panther, Efficiency 4. Seeing some Fiat fire there, but nothing too critical. Now the Fortune Fingers and Panzer Force makes its way forward. Like getting some good hits there onto the infantry section. And we've got the T-34-85. Only had 5 kills, almost efficiency 1. Fortune Makers make an advance. Section here, however, getting some good hits there. Does throw a Frenchable smoke, not Frenchable smoke, under grenade right there. And the Passport here has seen quite a bit of fire, is forced to fall back. This Bofors is unusual position. Not covering the VP. Of course, it's far enough away from the lights. It's not really being covered right there. T-35 does get a nice flanking shot there onto the Shug. Got a air support ability by the Austrian player. T-35 does get some good damage in there and does avoid all the strafes. Never mind, there's some strafes right there. Bofors also is going to be very useful in dealing as an aircraft piece, so that's another reason why that's actually a good position for Bofors to shoot down aircraft, but it's not doing all too well. Lags raining some shots right there. Bofors is being braced. And now the Firefly gains some much needed healing, but the Bofors may go down. Brace will not save it from all the damage, and it all depends how many more rounds of Lags are doing. One more, so as it just completes the barrage. Olsson and Potion Makers making an advance, trying to get some good damage there onto the intersection, but looks like the Olsen squad will need to fall back. Vet 5, Potion Makers coming in support as well. On the left side, got the Panzer IV and hold fire target vehicle state. He's hunting for Katusha. S-35 is now 3 shots away from death, not 2. And the Lag get a good hit there onto the intersection. Does fall back to one squad, and that one gets wiped out. Panzer IV receives 1 hit there from the Firefly. Panzer IV is still camouflaged right there. I try to find what best I can, replays I can get. The replays on Computers 2 is not as populated as with Computers 1 anymore. Tiger Tank begins advance, efficiency 1, 6 kills, all infantry, Druid does receive a pin there from the Tiger Tank. And Panzer IV does go in for a flank here. Does receive 2 hits there by the AT guns. And they're sitting on up. One more connect. The Panzer IV receives a bounce there. And this one managed to get the kill there with the AT gun. Good try of the Panzer IV. Just pretty much a failure.
Jerry's only got 100 points left.
Well, first being repaired. We got the Axis players down to 100 points. Allies are down to 119. Both of them are very low in VPs. T-45 making an advance. Also will receive 1 pen there from the Firefly. They got a mark target there on the Tiger Tank. Still rotating its gun around to engage the enemy. And the Panzer Grenadier is trying to capture the VP. Now, at this point in time, they have to play the VP game. This VP being captured by the Allies. This one will be decaptured, so soon just be a double cap against the Axis players for the time being. Mention this infantry starts mission report, trying to deal with this Bofors placement once again. This time with the Panther and Panzer IV. Panther has efficiency 5, Panzer IV efficiency 1. Second Panzer IV is loaded out by the Bolshevik player. Okay, intersection pushes way forward. Potion Jaeger, Vet 5 Potion Jaeger needs to fall back. Severely wounded, though it's not being focused down, so they even pitch a bit more damage. Let's fall back now. Both players are almost going down, focusing down the Firefly. Vet 3 Firefly does go down, but so does the Vet 5 Panther. The Bofors may have went down to the pistol mounts, and this Panzer IV is 1 shot away from death. This one needs to push forward to draw fire. And it's drawing the turret fire right there. There's the 2 Panzer's engaging, getting some good hits there as well. Ooh, AT guns so problematic. They're Vet 3 AT guns. Both Panzer IV needs to run away. Panzer IV barrage misses the Vet 3 AT guns. Even getting those decrewed, not even fully destroyed, is really so important. Yellow, well, blue has not redeployed out the Panzer IV just yet. Push a barrage in the center of the map. And its conscript squad will get overwhelmed. Another Katusha barrage, this time much closer, does roll another miss as well. And does get the kill there with this on that Katusha with the Stug. Blue will likely be able to decrew this AT gun. And maybe enough help from this S-25 to withstand a shot. Maybe not. Also when it's advancing. I think the Tiger Tank's also advancing as well. Yes, it is. I look at the mini-map. Panzer IV is being reinforced. A lot of various infantry forces here. Not enough thing to gauge that Panzer IVs.
We're losing a capture point.
Over here, Machete's pulling back his infantry away from the OKW infantry. Tiger Tank efficiency 2, which gets the increase in range and accuracy of the 88mm. Put it there onto the Panzer Grenadier. Over Panzer IV is making their advance, trying to get some good damage on in. S-25 rotating over. Not at full health, but good enough. Does receive a 10 there. T-85 does roll a miss there. Does send a pin there. Blue is preparing up his forces. Red is regrouping. So there's one Katusha alive. 2 T-54-85. This one is very fresh off the front manufacturing line. S-55 T-54-85 gets a nice hit there. Panzer Connect, or a Panzer. This is a combat blitz. Will not get body blocked there. One of the Panzer squads does get wiped out. Mark target on the other one there. Panzer does connect as well. This one's getting hit hard. Other True Pioneer squad needs a full retreat back. Combat blitz has been deactivated or timed out. There's a little miss there on that Panzer Force. And the aircraft does get shot down by this Panzer IV. Receives another miss there. His teammate's Panzerwerfer is safe. He's not pursuing any further. Unable to secure the kill right there. The Panzerwerfer finds a shot onto the T-3485. Over here, we've got the Panzer Mission Wave 4 against the Comet tank. S-25 advancing does find the Tiger tank. Schnook is severely wounded. His ball pushed pulled back. Osman's still alive at full health. Both leaders has captured the point. There's a triple capture in favor of the Axis players. And the Allies are down to 24 tickets.
Press on. The enemy has 25 points remaining.
They need to capture multiple points. Nothing's going up here, but Genta's control of this infantry was horrendous. Right now, Woolly Squads need to get over here immediately. Does get these pinned down by the OKW strafing support. It only took a single area, and this time it was successful. Going forward for a crush. Gets some great crushes there. And gets a full squad wipe with the crush. When they're fully pinned, they get instant crush. They do not dodge. And that's the end of the game. This is Adam Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. That was a good game. And while this is loading, I'm going to grab another drink. I finished off my drink. Yep, there was no grenades by the Comet. But it's really hit or miss whether or not the grenades on the Comet is actually useful. When the Comet's using grenades, especially used on AT guns and other support weapons, not necessarily infantry in the open field. Let's see now. What replay was that? Yeah, it was this one right here. They will bounce, bounce, bounce. That's probably not one I really want to cast at the moment. AT Overwatch. Let's just do a 1v1. Is my game crashing? I see the Windows load wheel. Oof, that was a... I may need to restart my computer relatively soon. By the way, let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Company Heroes 2 replay. So on the top right side, as the OKW4, we have the Prince 7900XEX, whatever that means. On his opponent as a Soviet player, we have Jimmy 890, and this is a clan match. Kupovagen deployed out on the field. We do have the combat engineers capturing some points. Looks like just a conscript opener. Volksgrenadier on the build queue. Let's see, what doctrines should either player go for? We do of course have elite armor. Potentially good. Most people like to use it for the 221/223, and heat rounds are always nice. Overwatch Doctrine, that probably would be pretty good. Jaeger Infantry, there's a very wide open map, so Jaeger Infantry could be very good. And Grand Offensive, people like their Tiger tank. Opponent, we got Guard Motor Coordination Tactics. All those assets are good. Counterattack Tactics. Could be potential. KV-1's pretty good. Shock Troops, a little bit open, but Shock Troops can handle open fields. And Recon Overflight's always nice. And Guard Rifle Combined Arms Tactics. Again, the KV-1, some other assets. So another potentially good one. So I don't see any doctrine I would just say absolutely no for either player. The closest one I'll probably say would probably... honestly, probably Grand Offensive. I think that people value the Tiger tank a little bit too much, in my opinion. That and probably counterattacks, so those two are least likely to pick on this map here. I just like the light infantry myself. Knocking around the combat engineers, the Shroom Pioneers should be able to close distance no problem, but we got the conscripts now closing on in this location. And the Shroom Pioneers are just going to fight from light cover. He has wired off the heavy cover there, which is very good. And this conscript squad could go ahead and back away to capture some other points. Conscripts are advancing as well, and he's just going to go ahead and hit that Shroom Pioneer. He is actually in the capture zone as well. Cutting it very close, apparently. AT grenade research? He's gone for early AT grenades. Usually see at least 4 conscripts before that point. Another conscript on the build queue. And he has backed away, get onto the heavy cover. Volkswagen had to put some heavy cover in front of the heavy cover to get more heavy cover. And the Volkswagen here are behind heavy cover, which can always deploy out some more heavy cover to get more heavy cover. We got the Sheer Panzer Quarter or SWS half track. He may be using this to crush some terrain to prevent his opponent from using it. And we do have the 221 now deployed on the field, so we do have the 221 selected. I guess you like the Tiger Tank. I know the Tiger Tank's good. I just feel like I like other assets. I'm not really a big fan of doctrines. OPW doctrines just gives Wehrmacht assets just because I don't like how a lot of the doctrines designed. That's why in my mod I changed a lot of that stuff. Then again, I went really crazy with my mod in the first place. Yeah. Yep. It all depends about on squad position as well. If they get really stacked up behind light cover, they can get annihilated. Heavy cover can generally absorb the shot and prevent some damage.
Comrades, we have now installed a field hospital at headquarters.
Got some healing available for the... Oh, you're talking about a... Oh, you're talking about something before a balance patch Tiger, I'm guessing.
T-34-85 tanks are now ready for use. Use them to crush the Huns. Our T-34s have been outfitted with 85mm guns. We will follow their tracks to victory.
We do have another doctrine lock-in. Guard motor coordination tactics is pretty standard doctrine. He probably also wants to set out for the guards for the AT rifles.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Yeah, the old Tiger Ace. I wasn't playing Copy Heroes 2 while the old Tiger Ace, or the original Tiger Ace, I should say, was around. But I heard that thing was absolutely absurd and insane. I still remember the Tiger Ace where you get permanent resource trade while it's still in the field. That was not really... As much as you want to use and have fun with it, it just wasn't useful. Conscripts should be forced back, but they're getting a lot of damage in. They could actually take time to retarget this one here to convince that one to fall back as well. Though granted, in my mod, I made it so you can now deploy out 2 Tiger tanks, which can be just as deadly. And I really made, in my mod, I really made the Tiger tank deadly, but a bit more squishy, ironically, with the change the tank destroyer damage, but it becomes very, very, very fun to use.
I need help!
Wow, some wire right there?
Fire obstacle up.
Is he laying down that wire to prevent sandbags from being deployed right there? If he is, that's actually quite smart.
Mobile command has been set. The static post is now in operation.
We've got the battle group HQ deployed on now. Immediately going for the upgrade. He's likely eyeing for a quick flak half track, I'm guessing, and not a healing at HQ. Or he could be eyeing... No, he's not going for a sheer Panzer Quarters.
Ready for action.
The Tiger Ace There was also a bulletin to improve the Tiger Ace vision range as well. Volkswagen do get singed quite a bit, blah. And now the conscripts making their way forward. This conscript is behind some heavy cover. There's two squads of Volksgrenadiers can deal with them. We've also got a flanking squad of conscripts, where these Volksgrenadiers are caught in the middle. Two Kugelwagens trying to get some damage in as well. These squads will need to fall back really soon. This conscript squad is being focused down as well. Does get the STGs upgrade in both these squads. This guy is being bathed in fire. But it still has all the squad members, though a bit wounded. Nothing being blown up by the battle group H. Oh, there is. We got the flak half track deployed on out, so I did guess correctly with that. The conscripts being hunted down by the 221, but does not get fully hunted. He does have AT grenade research, as we've known earlier. And sandbags have been deployed out next to the sandbags, give more heavy cover for the heavy cover next to the heavy cover. I'm going. It's just got a line of heavy cover right there.
You need something demolished?
Ready for action.
Sandbags deployed out.
Contact! Enemy infantry! Attain veteran status!
Waiting for your command.
Both these constant veteran C1s that can deploy out some tripwire flares. Volksgrenadiers are behind heavy cover, great positioning. They get out of heavy cover at the exact wrong time. Here's a sign he does not have map hacks. And T-70 has been deployed out in the field before any sort of support weapon. He has deployed out, of course, the support weapon company in case he needs to get out some Zis guns. And no guards yet either. So he selected the doctrine without using any assets at the moment. He has 3 command points. He can deploy out 120mm mortar. He can deploy out some guards, but decides not to get either though. So he must plan to use the T-34-85. Volksgrenadiers are quite wounded. Is the battle group HQ does have medic upgrade, very nice. Oh, there's 3 windows on that side? Not bad. Flamer engineer deployed on out. 223 is trying to actually stand up on a point relatively soon. That course does also increase health. Now we do have the T-70 pursuing forward. Does receive some fire there. But once a miss there as the cannon warfare starting to set on up. Wait. How many misses were there? Was he force firing the ground? Or was he trying to hit the Stone Pioneers? He wasn't close to getting that thing wiped out. So it didn't really make a difference. Maybe we're trying to get that Stone Pioneers to get some damage in. Stop hoorah and get to cover. Oh, it does get an AT grenade there on the 223. We got the Stone Pioneers trying to move over to repair it up. Up north, we got some more sandbags. And the Volksgrenadiers do interrupt the deployment of those sandbags. 2 squads of Volksgrenadiers are advancing. He may force back this Volksgrenadier squad. Well, he does. Sooner than actually expected. He could take time to set up the 223 over here on this field point to increase its resource income.
Crews are now authorized to make emergency repairs.
And now we do, of course, have the emergency repair ability. Millimeter mortar does roll a miss there on the Sturm Pioneers. That has been deployed on out. That may give an idea of what doctrine he has selected his opponent. Though he does not remember what doctrine he's was in his lineup. He may give an idea may not give him an idea what doctrine is, but since we know that that's the only doctrine with the 150 millimeter mortar that he had selected, we know which doctrine he has selected. T-70 does receive some shots. 2-second shot there. Conscripts pushing the way forward, engaging the Volksgrenadiers. And now this mortar is actually pretty close range. These rounds could drop right on somebody's head. Conscripts here, only one model firing, does receive a incendiary grenade there. And now the 120mm mortar is going to fall back. But it's just a soft retreat. These conscripts could push his way forward.
Ready for duty.
I'm actually still surprised that this 223 has not set up on a fuel or munitions point. Good damage there on those conscripts.
Orders complete.
Just he captures that and runs, not realizing that the retaliation was nowhere near close enough. Let's go ahead and utilize the detection mode. Drawing forward, it's pretty far away from that Zis gun as well. He will get the AT grenade off, probably a bit of a waste, or maybe not. Does reset up that AT gun in time. He did actually have another shoe mine queued up right there. He actually is going to deploy it out. Interesting. The 223 is making advance. Let's get some good damage in. Now unfortunately 2. Maybe he's really trying to get up the eye up the Vet 5 Regal anti-tank mines. They're gonna work for a set on up, get some good hits there on the T-70. Does not find an angle there. It sounds like a Zis gun barrage raining on in. Nope, just a rounds onto the 223. Black half track is defensive in the middle of the map. Hasn't really gotten much work done so far. And the Volksgrenadiers do fall back or soft retreat away while the conscripts do a full retreat. More 120mm mortars. I don't know why 120mm mortar seems like it's a very hard. It's a tongue twister.
Combat promotion.
Old Assassin Squad pushes its way forward, trying to gauge these conscripts, getting some damage in there. And the conscripts do fall back to heavy cover. The Opus are behind light cover, and there's also flanking Volksgrenadier, and the Light takes up the heavy cover while at it. T-70 regains some much needed repairs. We do have the Mechanized Armor Company deployed on out. He likely, maybe a good idea to save up and deploy out T-34-76, something a bit more for infantry rather than save up for an 85. Additionally, it will be cheaper and deploy out much sooner, and he's pretty close to that, 20 more fuel for it. We do have the Sheer Panzerquarter, it does have the up gun, so it's a good chance there's going to be a Panzer IV out relatively soon as well. He has 125 fuel. He has deployed out his 223 onto the fuel point as well, giving it an extra 7 or 8 fuel per minute. Rounds running in a little bit short. And this Opus squad is inside this garrison. There's 2 windows on the side. Good with the LMG-34, but that's about it. Black half track sitting on up, trying to get some damage there onto the conscripts. Does get some nice angles there, suppressing the squad. But the 120mm mortar is getting some good hits down the garrison as well, forcing a full retreat from these forces. We do have a Panzer IV on the build queue for the OPW player now. And we do have enough fuel for a T-54-76 for the Soviet player, but seeing the Panzer IV on the build queue now, it's probably a good idea he does go for the 85. So he does destroy the sandbags there. This wire was pretty good at preventing the proper placement of the sandbags.
Task complete. Volks Grenadiers mark
Panzer IV deployed. Awaiting orders.
Panzer IV deployed on now. He's likely going to go for, yep, the Panzer Commander. And over here we do have the T-70 pushes way forward, does throw a good round there onto the Volks Grenadiers. House does connect. Conscripts here to provide some cover for him. Looks like the Panzer IV is not moving to pursue it. So we could see a big push in the center with the Panzer IV and the flat calf track. Yeah, get some sleep. I don't blame you. Get some sleep. That's far too late for me to stay up, so yeah. Go ahead and enjoy your sleep.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Light does find a AT mine there, and big push here, including the 223. The 223 is receiving some fire there, does receive AT grenades there from the Panzer IV, multiple AT gun shots there, and the Panzer IV goes down thanks to the double AT gun. Massive loss there. Black Cap receiving the fire there, 223 goes down. No smoke from the flat cap track. And he loses all that stuff. Jeez, that was horrible. That was losing all of his assets right there. I said beforehand, go over the P-3485, but the Kenilworth does get the kill there on the T-70.
Forward elements report and infantry.
I did say best go to the T-3485. He's going for it now, but at this point in time, him losing all that assets, it'd probably be a good idea to go for the T-3476s. And that guy left at the exact wrong time, didn't he?
Orders? Do you need something?
Let's see now. The OPW player, upon seeing the T-3485, he can either go for a Jagdpanzer, another Panzer IV, which that would be more of a disadvantage, or go save it for a Panther. Maybe a good idea to go for the Jagdpanzer. Because he doesn't have the 223 anymore for additional fuel income, so he's now fighting a fuel deficit.
Contact! Enemy fire!
Conscripts going around to capture some points. We got these Obersatzen and Volksgrenadier in the region as well. Good damage right there. Number 85 pushes his way forward. Let's get a couple of kills there. T-485 with the two assist guns pushed way forward. Taking out the Chair Panzer Quarter would be a massive victory. It will stop any further tanks. That's gonna go hit there on the lag. Good hit there as well. Let's just try and force fire the ship hands quarters. Now you can mainly fire it. The other Ziska needs to start pushing his way forward as well. Where's the Kenilworth right there? The infantry needs to start closing in here. Obersatzen needs to throw their plumbing grenade. He does pull back nice and early. It may have been a good idea to actually stick around, but that's with the caster vision, knowing that he has pretty far away from any sort of armor asset being deployed. Can't say it fault him for being safe, but at that point in time, if he would have succeeded, it would have been worth the gamble, even losing both of the AT guns. .100mm mortar, now retreating back. conscripts make their way forward. 7-man squads. There's 3 of them. Yep, all 4 upgraded the 7-man squad upgrade. Photo grenade thrown. That was a. Oh no, that's a fragile smoke. Cannon Warfare finds some good hits there on the T-34-85. And this Volksgrenadier squad will get overwhelmed by the conscripts. Does stop the decapture there as well. Obersaus and Volksgrenadiers make their advance.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
And a Molotov was thrown there by the conscripts. Incendiary grenade was thrown in return, getting some damage there. And the Volksgrenadiers do get the Veteran C4 with that. Conscripts along the flank get the Veteran C3, wipes out the Volksgrenadiers. They're just losing a lot of stuff. He also has the Iron Hide bulletin. Actually a really good bulletin. Panzer IV, the OKW Panzer IVs already have absurdly high armor of, was it 234? 5% increased armor protection, nets in at least additional 10, 12 armor? You know, almost up to 250. The armor bulletins are better the more armor you already have. Getting higher, larger amounts of armor. 120mm mortar, engaging the Imperial Panzer quarters. We've got another Panzer IV in the build queue. Now, seeing as of that bulletin, that can actually make a difference between a T-34-85 and a OKW Panzer IV engagement. Like something got deployed on out. No, they just changed the location where you deployed out the Panzer IV. I just saw the flag, the deployment flag got deployed down right in front of us. So it's there on the Volksgrenadiers.
Capture completed.
And the Cannon Warfare does capture the point. Obersaus's only behind some light cover. All the heavy cover was destroyed. And the Cannon Warfare not trying to set that up, but the French will smoke again. It has more immediate effect. I see why he's going for it. It has an immediate effect rather than him dodging out of the way of the bundle grenade. Those black rounds will not suppress the conscripts, so they can potentially get out some good work in. Mark target deployed out onto the Panzer IV. One hit there. Rolls a bounce there. And now perhaps have no light rounds just raining on the conscripts. Conscripts throwing some rounds there, or Panzer IV throwing some rounds there on the conscripts. They're quite wounded. That one rolled a miss. One well-placed shot could actually wipe out that squad. We got some mortars raining on top of the flag. Both rolled a miss. One hit there from the AT gun. Mark target still active. Rolls another miss right there. Flag, perhaps eyeing a barrage there. Knows in general attack, auto attack. T-34-85 does crush the sandbags. That looked like it was actually on purpose. There's two T-34-85s squad on the field. We've got some more heavy cover to increase the amount of heavy cover for the heavy cover.
Target vehicle marking available.
Got some rounds being deployed out, hitting that HQ now.
Under attack!
He does have a good amount of fuel reserves, so it's probably pretty soon to get out another Panzer IV. Got a 2-shot in the build queue for the Soviet player.
Orders complete.
And here comes a light shot onto these forces. I know what's the light section going to be hitting the 120mm mortar as more landmines being pulled out. Very nice. It's a doctrine where you tend to float a lot of munitions there, so pulling out some extra landmines never hurt. You also gone for cheaper landmines as well. And also the just a scratch bolting. There's 2 KV-1 bulletins for that shows the shield there. One is misleading compared to the other one. One increases the armor, the other one increases or decreases the target size, which is pretty much inherently worthless. Katusha needs to fall back. It does receive a bit of burst there. Reduced target size is not really worth it on a heavy tank. Oh, and he fired and interrupted, not getting, and puts on cooldown because he threw 1 rocket. Oh, that's what I was hearing. You got the timed mortar barrage to hit the HQ, getting some good damage there. Oh, gotta avoid that one.
Incoming mortars!
Waiting for your command.
Conscripts capture the munitions point there. More landmines being deployed on out, very nice. And the 120mm mortar is going to be forced on back to see a bit too much fire right there.
Sandbags are set up. I am sweating like a...
The enemy still has 300 points. Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
The critical player still has more tickets than his opponent. At 297, I heard we're taking losses times 2. The pair of conscripts went down right there.
Bleeding, comrade.
And we got these conscripts falling on back now. That's a regular barrage. Gets actually a decent hit there on the Shum Pioneers, getting some good damage.
Not fine.
Again, we're throwing some rounds there onto the sandbags. And I got the conscripts inside the garrison as well. The garrison still has plenty of health. He does throw a incendiary grenade into it. Katusha barrage, trying to throw some rounds there onto the kind of refer. Does the native landmine as well and gets a direct hit there, decrewing the gun. Olb's also maybe eyeing to recrew it, but they are receiving some fire from the conscripts. He should be able to recrew it without losing the squad.
Well done, comrades. It is ours.
Ooh, deadly hit there.
Rifleman ready. Complete.
Does deploy out some landmines as well. You got the Sturm Tiger deployed on out. Okay, I was not expecting the Sturm Tiger to be deployed.
They've opened up on us.
Sturm Tiger's not, even in team games where it's supposed to do a bit better,
Up on us.
not really all that great.
We built it as ordered.
Conscripts do take some shots there at the Volksgrenadiers. Mechanical is pushing forward. This is a fresh Mechanical. No, that's just one recruited by the Oberstdorf, not fresh. But the Oberstdorf defense group, while expensive, would make the gun quite resilient to fire. Sturm Tiger may have been spotted there. I'm not sure if the Sturm Tiger was actually spotted. But this may be a bit of a surprise for the Soviet player.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Does have made a landmine there with the Olbstotsen. Good landmine placement. He must know it's there, or at least hears it.
losing territory.
Oh, that flare mine will reveal everything here. Oh! Listen to the Soviet player. He sees all of that. Mark target on the Shun Tiger as well. That flare mine came at the exact right time. That's a really, really good thing about flare mines. I mostly think of flare mines just like they pick off one model here and there. And the Mark target, of course, then revealed off the Buchenwurfer. Shun Tiger pushed way forward. Khan's aircraft, the Mark target aircraft still in the air. Shun Tiger line shot on something. Receives a pen and bounce there. Buchenwurfer's trying to fire away. Decides to fall back with Shun Tiger. Constant run forward, trying to go for an AT grenade there on the Shun Tiger. This is really wounded. The Sheer Panzer Quarter should protect it from being advanced. Does actually fire bolts on the Sheer Panzer Quarter somehow. Did not receive any fire in return. Put it there onto the oldest Datsun. They will need to fall back entirely. Buchenwurfer's pushing the way forward. Prepared to reload complete. No, that's just the emergency repair ability being utilized for a good touch of health. Panzer IV does use heat routes there, getting a great pen. Volkswagen not going for a Faust. Buchenwurfer does get a hit with it. That Buchenwurfer gets a great hit in as well. Heat round does connect, takes up the T-245. Very, very nice. And the Buchenwurfer does get a kill steal from the Panzer IV. More mortars on the Sheer Panzer Quarters. Likes now Vector C4, very nice. Gets some great hits there on the 120mm mortar. Shun Tiger advancing.
Here we go. Get ready to move.
Trying to go with the Comm Engineers. Does not get the shot off. He could have got it. It's always been iffy whether or not you can't get the shot off or not. If you select the fire while still moving forward within its not beyond the maximum range, but within its minimum range, it tends to be a bit more responsive. Something I've noticed. Here comes the Shun Tiger. Does fall back as well. Does get a nice lot of retreats, which is important. It just doesn't feel good. I'm unable to get the shot off. Both Datsuns are getting overwhelmed, both of them. That one does fall back. 120mm mortar gets a good hit there on the Buchenwurfer. Both players 201, 199, so both of them are very even on tickets. T-485 does get a nice hit there on to the Buchenwurfer as it runs away. Shun Tiger does receive 2 pens there. Going for a cool rod, trying to go for the AT grenade, does get another hit there. AT grenade does connect. He may need to use emergency repairs, but has to be out of combat. T-485, Panzer Force pushes way forwards now. Shun Tiger is coming to repair now. Does get a good hit there on the conscript squad. Got some good mortar hits there. That flag's almost wiped out. and does get wiped out there.
A gun crew has been lost.
Both Grenadiers do get forced back. Try to go for a shot there. If he sees it start being captured, he'll fire. He'll probably take this time to fire off a shot. Two of the cannon warriors here, so we'll look on the T-30-45. They will be engaging each other in glorious melee combat. And T-34 does get a good hit there. Heat round thrown on in. Emergency war speed just utilized with the Blitzkrieg. Combat Blitz. T-30-45 severely does get taken out there by the Panzer IV. Now, was going to try to hunt down the Katusha, finds the AT mine, throws an AT gunshot in as well. Another one does pen. One more shot does get killed off. Mark target plus AT grenade, maybe enough to finish off. It's really hard for me to tell. Does throw the AT grenade down. That's not going to kill there. Finds another landmine there with the old Zlatson. T-34-85 will say hello. Both of them bounced or missed. Fresh Guard Squad, both of them missed once again. T-45 just needs to stop moving, gets a pen in return, and there goes the Panzer IV. You got some guards freshly deployed now, trying to get the DPs for a button vehicle. And Consequence will be throwing out a Molotov. Looks like this was recently fired. Just got done reloading as well. Trying to find an angle. Maybe we'll find an angle on this conscript squad.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
Now the T-34-85 deployed on now. Guards of DPs are now pushing the way forward. On the right side, conscripts making their advance, forcing back the Storm Pioneers. And now this Opsan squad will need to fall back, seeing quite a bit of fire there. Storm Tiger fires, does get a stun on the T-35 and suppresses the combat engineers, but that's about it. These cannon workers may get revealed because of Volkswagen still in the region, and then you get actually force a retreat back there now. This is the one that was stunned by the Sturm Tiger.
This now belongs to the people and workers of the Soviet Union.
Panzer has the commander being upgraded now. Let's force back the conscripts. Put it there. Sturm Tiger reloaded. It pushes way over here. Some good juicy targets there. And we do got the force Panzer commander upgrade for the Panzer IV. Going for the shot there. Let's get a pen from the T-34-85. Not taking opportunity to try fire on the T-35 and maybe at max range. Does fall back in time. It's there and does fall back. Good hits there. Sturm Tiger not lining the shot. And here comes the Katusha barrage raining on in. On top of that, the cannon worker. Those scattering all around it. Does see the kill there. Does get another kill there in the last volley. Will largely miss. T-485 pushes way forward, going for Panzerfaust. You know he is scratched. Oh no, he's not going for Panzerfaust. Or maybe it was the guy who was going for it actually got interrupted. Old Assassin did get a bit of healing there. Heals out of combat at vet 3. He does throw out a frangible smoke grenade and receives a Molotov in return. If you had T-345 full repaired, one of these AT guns are pretty wounded.
The enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Getting some good damage there onto the conscripts. Does force them back there. Ooh, Sturm Tiger. Does I get one model there of the combat engineers? 9 kills so far on the Sturm Tiger so far. Like this roll miss there, we do have the conscripts capture the central VP, and we do have the 2 T-45 trying to hunt down the Panzer IV. So there's a landmine detonation there as well.
All complete.
Both these points are captured. There may have been... I don't know why. I think there may have been a flare mine deployed out there, but I may be mistaken.
Who needs engineers when you have strong Soviet backs? There are no cowards here. Wait.
We are
Conscripts have
losing
deployed out some
supplies to the
sandbags
enemy.
right there. Volkswagen and Volksgrenadiers make their advance on the wrong side of the sandbags. Now they're on the right side of the sandbags, and the beginning of first do destroy the sandbags. There's a little Molotov there. War just only sees a little bit of the Volksgrenadiers. Not back flies, don't get health out of combat. And more landmines to be put out. There's a lot of landmines deployed. Old Assassin gets a nice flank there on top of the conscripts. Ours riflemen do brace dirt to get some more damage in. Sturm Tiger could push forward to throw a giant rocket on top of him for that.
Target secure.
Capture complete. No enemy activity.
VP is captured. We got the conscripts to make their way forward. And we got both these people beginning to set up in a great position there, getting 2 pins there immediately. Going for a high barrage of one of them. Another hit there, fires, and there goes T-35 to the ambush of the Kenworthers. Does get one of the crew, but definitely worth it. Trying to go for the Sturm Tiger. It's a good hit there. One of the AT guns are decrewed, and now it's trying to reload right there. Panzerfaust does connect, but not enough to the engine damage. Another Panzerfaust, no, that's Panzer Shrek hit as well. Mark target onto the Sturm Tiger. And then Panzer more bit wounded from the AT guns. Again, what's with the music just changing like that?
Enemy down to 100 points.
T-3485 pushes his way forward, trying to get some good damage in. He does go in and throw out a Frenchable smoke grenade.
Orders complete. Standing by.
He does capture the point. Okan squad mates need to fall back entirely. And Task Force does receive a hit there. Conscripts trying to pursue the McKenna Worker. As McKenna Worker sets on up, gets a good hit there. McKenna Worker will need to fall back, does receive a Molotov. And Sturmtiger does connect, I think right there? No, right there. I don't think he got any kills there, maybe one or two. Conscript Squad does fall back. Obzatson advancing, throws out a bundle grenade there, and does receive some damage. McKenna Workers are lining on up, gets a double hit there, almost down, one more shot down. Will he reload in time? He does not reload in time. Good bundle grenade right there. Close range Katyusha barrage gains some great hits there. May wipe out some of these splinters. Nope, it does not. Heat rounds may be utilized by this T-34, does, or by the Panzer IV. Mark target on the Panzer IV. Nope, not enough munitions for heat rounds. Does roll a miss there. Mark target increases damage, and I think pen, but not accuracy.
A mere 50 points remain before our defeat. The sector is at risk.
Sturmtiger is reloaded. Best not go for an AT grenade. Don't have really missions for it. Could waste. No steam hit there from these Zis gun. Fires a close range shot.
We must hold the enemy. We are down to our last 25 points.
Soviet players course down to his last 25 points. The northern and southern point is being captured on off. Obzatson's just pitching some shots at long range. McKenna Worker should not have been recaptured right then. Volkswagen should have pushed forward to allow the Obzatson to continue firing. So the Shun Pioneers do manage to recapture the southern point, so the Soviet players still be counted down against them. Obzatson and Volkswagen are making their advance, trying to get some good damage there. 10 points is not a whole lot. Into the 45 in this region, has to fight while low health. That point is a lot of explosives. So Conscript should be able to start resecure at that point now. Point will get decaptured. Light is getting some hits in as well. Does get the point decaptured, falls back now, trying to avoid the Sturmtiger. We're about ready to fire its shot off. Conscript's trying to capture the point once again. Sturmtiger, one of the best assets to keep a point secure, that's for sure. Right now, the Soviet player does not need to dive in on that point. Suppresses his own Volksgrenadier. It does suppress the Conscript as well. Kenworth finds a hit there. And now here comes Katyusha Barrage for this region, getting some great hits there. Volksgrenadier squad will skip Katyusha Barrage, so does McKenna Worker. There's two McKenna Workers right here. Goes at Vector C4, both of them at Vector C4. Goes out front with a smoke grenade there, which may draw him close for a bundle grenade there, but 120mm mortar does find a good hit. Heads forward, maybe behind the force fire the ground. Find some good hits there. Guards do find a good grenade in return. And the OKW forces will go ahead and recapture the central VP. So we place on the forward tickets. Conscript trying to push on forward, but I don't think there's any way for him to interrupt this cap. And that's going to be game. There's too much right there. Nothing threatening the southern point. Yeah, that's game. And that's the end of the replay. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. So, I'm getting a little bit tired. I did start a little bit early to stream as well. By the way, I'm probably going to call it a night right now. Everyone, have a good evening. Go and get